We must reach out to one another. We must set aside divisive tendencies. We must work collectively to build a stronger, more cohesive ABC. My brothers and sisters, politics is a game of numbers, not sentiments. The era of wasting our votes on emotional choices that yield no political capital is over. There is no point to be made in failure. A vote cast where it does not count towards success is an opportunity lost at the negotiation table. We cannot ask for dividends where we have not invested as Igbo people. The vote in our hand is our currency for investment. The shortest, most viable route for our geopolitical zone to end federal power in the center, in the nearest future, lies in building strong strategic alliances over time. By supporting the Southwest and President Tinubu at this time, we strengthen trust, we foster reciprocity, and we cement our place at the center of national decision making. My own brothers, let us not be deceived by those who seek to isolate us with sectional sentiments. The southern political corridor must remain united. We must realign. We must consolidate. Any attempt to fracture this alliance leaves the Southeast with a paltry sum of votes, insufficient to sweep power, but sufficient to alienate us further in the coming years. We must invest our votes where they will yield returns. In the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are investing in this administration because President Tinubu has shown courage and leadership. Yes, the reforms were tough. The removal of the fuel subsidy and the unification of the exchange rate tested our resilience. But today, we are seeing the fruits of that steadfastness. Under President Tinubu's steering, our non-oil revenue has broken record, hitting over 20 trillion naira by mid-2025, ensuring that states, including our own states here in the Southeast, receive record fund allocation to deliver development. And I'm happy our governors here present are utilizing those funds effectively, and they are impacting the region positively. I want to especially thank our APC governors who have consistently acknowledged the president's support by releasing these critical funds for the benefit of our people. This shows true leadership and appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, the president has proven the
Welcome, Michael.
In project allocation. The political will to develop the Southeast is there. He is a listening leader. He deserves our unwavering support. It is because of this that I charge every stakeholder here to intensify grassroots mobilization immediately. We must secure a resounding victory for the APC 2027 general election. I want to commend the governors of Imo State, the governor of Ebonyi State, the governor of Enugu State for their tireless effort in
Yeah, Senior Doctor Ojo Zokalo. Okay, Senator Dr. Ojo Zokalo Street. Ngalene Street.
Very bad road.
Then the street. I'm a candidate that threats and them say your brother was yours or everywhere. There. There. How can we be made signboard? There signboard. Very proud. Yeah, Senior Doctor.
Are we looking for zoning or winning? No, I didn't hear you.
This is an old video, FYI.
Now,
This was, I think, 2022, 23, I think.
what I'm going to say,
So it's
I
just
do not mean any offense. I've seen my leader, Olisametu, coming, and I'm going to use your state.
Abi now,
I'm going to use your
Michael.
state as a reference point. And with due respect to the people of the Plateau, I will use your state as another reference point. We had an election in Anambra State. The governor of Anambra State won the election with 112,000 votes. The person next to him, the PDP candidate, secured about 53,000 votes. The third, the APC candidate, had 24,000 votes. The fourth, YYP candidate, had about 20,000 votes. Put together in that state election, governorship, we had about 220,000 votes in between 4 political parties. Just past our federal constituency in Plateau State, where PDP won. The PDP candidate had about 47,000. PRP, 30. PDP 40. PDP 40,000. PRP 37. Then APC 26. If you add this, it's close to 100,000. Federal constituency election. So demography is an issue. Demography is an issue. That is why after the election, I appeal to PDP to look at these elections and be studying elections and by-elections as we progress towards 2023. APC took their ticket to Katsina in 2015, Katsina, where the last president of PDP, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, died in office in 2010. 5 years later, APC, out of strategic thinking, with Bola Tinubu is there, and the rest of them. I was part of it. We said we are looking for how to win. We must get power before we shite. And deliberately, we took APC tickets to Katsina and gave it to President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, Atiku Abubakar contested, Rabi Musa contested, and some in that, and Ruta Sokocha, but we all knew where we were going because we were determined to win. And let me tell you, had APC given that ticket to someone from the South, in particular South, we couldn't have won. Go and check the election results of 2007. President Buhari had 11 million votes before, in 2003. But in 2011 and 7, he had 7 million votes against Yar'Adua because they're from the same Katsina. And he couldn't win it. Buhari and Yar'Adua ran. He couldn't win it. Now, this is for PDP. In the South, as of today, PDP is in 8 government houses. APC is also in 8 government houses, leaving 1. That's Anambra. In the North, APC is in 14 government houses. PDP is in 5 government houses. And they have the president. So I'm giving you this analysis so that together as leaders of our party, who are working towards winning election, not zoning, not winning ticket. Yes, you can share ticket because you can tear it. And everybody will take his piece and go to his zone. But you must plan to win election. That is the reality of it. It's not anybody's making. I didn't make myself to come from Sokoto, Fulani man. No, it's God. God could have decided for me to be born somewhere else, not even in Nigeria. So we must accept these realities as a party and work with these realities to win election. After winning, we come down and say, okay, let's share this. Let's share power. Win election first. Don't win zoning, no. Win election, and then we come and share power. Because the president and the vice president cannot come from the same zone. They cannot even come from the same street. Am I right? In fact, they can hardly be of the same faith. If you have president and vice president, Muslim, dead on arrival, in the current Nigerian situation. If you have president and vice president, Christian, dead on arrival. So you must balance the ticket. And we'll sit down and look at, okay, Senate President, this. We cannot.
Did you guys notice that the picture of Shetima has dropped from Tinubu's? They did a meeting somewhere, I can't remember where now. Shetima's picture was not included. Are they trying to change the VP? Is that part of the whole thing that they're trying to do? If you know, if somebody knows better, please share with me. I beg. I beg, Una.
You can see the president has consistently stood up for the armed forces, supported the armed forces, encouraged us, and have given us a mandate for the armed forces to ensure that there is peace in Nigeria. Our call is for Nigerians, one, those that are still supporting those bandits, criminals, insurgents, terrorists, should stop. Because they say the friend of a thief is a thief. For us, if you get to the battlefield and you are among them, then whatever happens to them happens to you. And it's important for those good Nigerians to provide necessary information as quickly as you see something, say something, so that action should be taken. And the armed force is always ready to react. You can see the president has
well, CDS Musa, we don't know what they happen, that they kpai people up and down. This is the CCTV of the kidnapping that took place in Ekpoma.
They don't still kidnap another boy. They don't kidnap another boy this evening again. They don't kidnap another person for Emma this evening today. Ogbemolo, CP Agbonika, what are you still doing in Edo State? Will you get out of Edo State, CP Agbonika? What are you still doing in Edo State? They just kidnapped this one now, like 2 hours ago. Ogbemolo, what are you still doing in Edo State? You're not going to resign? You're not going to resign if you don't be secure Edo. You're not going to resign? CP. They just call me. CP, you're not going to come up from Edo? You're not going to resign? When I say he lost, over 10 he lost vehicles and soldiers to go kill protesters and arrest some. Now they believe that protesters, they arrest, they believe. Now they find, I don't know what they collect bail from them. Why kidnappers are still in the streets in Ekpoma? Oh God. Hey. Maybe I just see the fine boy when they just kidnap this evening.
The video be this one, so now the video be this one, where they take carry on. Now my guy CC, my brother CCTV camera, so now if I show how they take carry on, so now the house with this. See as they take hide for inside bush, just carry on, nah. Now the video now be this one, so the time and everything. Now the video be this.
Chimamanda, now wow, condolence. I don't even know. It's just
the whole architecture, security architecture of Nigeria, they shake everywhere. They shake. He tweet about security in Nigeria. Everywhere don't scatter. Everywhere they shake. Please, Trump, tweet about INEC. Tweet about INEC, please. Make everywhere they shake for INEC too. I beg. Tweet about INEC too. Trump tweets everywhere don't scatter. Trump, I beg you. Tweet about INEC. I tweet. INEC will help security. Trump
is symptomatic of what is happening in APC, the failed political party. I remember I told people that they will implode. A child that is born today will tell you that two captains cannot command a ship. Then you, the APC, you took Nike and made it 001 GDP in Rivers State. And you went and took Fubara and made it 001 APC.
yeah. They say now the people too, they involved. Now them.
Are two heads
They don't turn out to business.
The APC, which Tinubu propounded during his campaign in the 2023 election. Now, he is now moving ahead, trying to unify PDP and APC. And that is what is going to implode the APC. Because you can't bring old wine and put a new wine skin. What is happening in Rivers State is that there is a godfather who is unforgiven and who will not forgive. And there is a godson that does not just want to be a slave. Are you talking about agreements he made in PDP in law? The only time you cannot litigate a case is when they are of the same parties, the same issues. Now, if Fubara made any agreement with the PDP, and the APC took him and gave him new agreement. That your agreement with him can no longer stand because it's done with the same parties and with the same people. In any case, when you enter into a contract by coercion, by force, there was no consensus ad idem because one party was forced to agree to the terms. So whatever is their agreement, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, the welfare and security of the River State people is my primary concern. They should stop using the resources and the power of Rivers people against the Rivers people. What they are doing, both Fubara and Mike, is not working well for the security and welfare of the Rivers people. If two of them cannot get their acts together, let two of them step aside so that the Rivers people can see and forge a new life. What is all this issue about using their own disagreement to destroy the security and welfare of Rivers people? I'm getting pissed off. Vote Fubara, vote Mike. Let both of them step aside. If they cannot agree, that new people will come and become in charge of Rivers State. I am not siding any of them. How can a godfather and a godson not agree? So they should stop using their quarrel because it's affecting the Rivers people negatively. If they can't get their acts together, let two of them get away. If two of them cannot get away, whichever one that wins, let the person go. I don't have any business supporting any of them. The solution is very simple. They should just vote ADC in 2027 and vote out their problem. Both Fubara and Mike are now problems of Rivers State. Rivers people should sit together and vote two of them out. I'm telling you. And they should just vote ADC in. A breath of fresh air is what we need in Rivers State now. Because you can see the crisis is intractable. They should prove that it is the people of Rivers State that own Rivers State, not Mike, not Fubara. So they should vote both of them out and vote ADC in. What they should do is to massively join ADC, where they will be welcome and where their resources will be preserved and where their security and their welfare will be catered for, without godson or godfather that will never agree on anything. They deserve better, being part of the goose that lays the golden eggs. They should not be treated in the way they are being treated. Let all of them massively move into ADC and vote for ADC and vote out this incompetent and corrupt and disorganized and dehumanizing set of people. That's what they should do. Because ADC is the only alternative. Sorry.
Una hear say una ex-attorney general of the federation, una hear say Malami, they found hey God, they found arms in his house. So DSS open fresh probe. Una know? Okay, moving on.
Dey my screen now. In name na Solomon. That time for Benue, when bandits come in states, come by people them, come raid them. This guy stood up, defend his people. This guy stood up, defend his people, and the police came, they arrested that guy. They keep him for hostage. Now they're from one court to another. Now they don't carry the guy go court. Now they say that they sentence Solomon to death by hanging just because he defend his fellow Christians, his villagers, his citizens. They follow Christians, the fellow Christians. He defended them from all this bandit attack. Why some Fulani people came to attack them in their village. This guy stood up for his villagers to defend them. Now, it's now a crime. Now, that same guy is now sentenced to death by hanging. When we see some criminals, some Fulani criminals, when they go catch them, they integrate them back into the army. These so-called terrorists,
Now go catch them, finish. Now they say now they carry them go rehabilitation center. Now bring them back into Nigerian military to come serve. Why somebody now that is defending himself is now a crime? That one now deserves to die by hanging. What have we gotten into in this country? What have we gotten into? And now somebody now will be telling me that we are one in this country. See, if Christians just close their eye, this kind of thing happen. Or we the citizens of this country close our eye for this kind of thing make it happen, then more of it will happen. I think we need to stand up for this guy. He did not deserve to die. He deserves an award. He deserves to be honored, not death. Men are going to listen to the news. Now let's go and watch it together.
Kaduna High Court sentences Christian defender Victor Solomon Zidane to death by hanging amid outrage over self-defense claims. The Kaduna State High Court has sentenced Victor Solomon, popularly known as Zidane, a Christian from the Adara community in southern Kaduna, to death by hanging on charges of murder. The verdict, delivered recently, has sparked widespread outrage among Christian advocacy groups, who describe it as yet another case of a Christian being punished for defending his community against alleged Fulani militant attacks. Solomon was arrested in 2019 to 2020 following the 2018 Kasuwan-Magani communal clashes, a violent confrontation between Adara Christians and Hausa/Fulani Muslims that resulted in dozens of deaths, with reports citing over 66 Muslim victims in some accounts. Christian supporters hail Zidane as a folk hero who resisted what they call targeted attacks on Adara villages, part of broader ethno-religious violence in the region. Shockingly, Solomon faced identical murder charges in two separate Kaduna State High Courts, an unusual move raising questions about double jeopardy. He was acquitted in one court but convicted in the other, reportedly presided over by a Muslim judge. Advocates argue this highlights perceived judicial bias in cases involving Christian defendants in northern Nigeria. This is not justice, it's persecution, said one prominent Christian leader on social media. Christians have a fundamental right to defend themselves and their families from attackers. The case echoes that of Sunday Jackson, a Christian farmer recently pardoned in December 2025 after international pressure overturned his death sentence for killing a Fulani herdsman in self-defense. Southern Kaduna has long been a flashpoint for farmer-herder conflicts, often framed along religious lines, with thousands displaced or killed over the years. Human rights organizations point to asymmetric prosecutions, where defenders from minority Christian communities face harsher penalties. The hashtag #FreeZidane is trending on social media, with calls for an immediate appeal, gubernatorial pardon.
When the military decided it was time to step away, well, 98 really, but handover was 99. Many of the traditional politicians did not believe the military, thought it was one of those games that the military had played several times, go 6 months later, come back, or something. So most of them took a watch and, see as attitude. And they left a vacuum. That vacuum was occupied immediately by some very undesirable elements. And Nigeria has not recovered since from it. Right now, Nigeria needs a reset button. There's no question. It cannot function the way it is. Country's dead end. So, I think patriotism will push people to realize we've reached the dead end and that we can rebuild. That's what I'm hoping we'll have. When you have nuanced conversation, people play up all kinds of things. That's a meaningless thing. I was being interviewed on television live, and the person said, Festus Keyamo said he's going there just to go and be vice. I said, Festus is talking nonsense. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He cannot be going there just to be somebody's vice president. If that's why he's going there, I will walk away from that whole kind of arrangement. So then they began to exaggerate it, to play it up. We want a new Nigeria, we want a new way of doing things. One very important thing that I believe in is that whoever steps up to bat in 2027 cannot be a superman. Look, Nigeria is a mess because we believe that Buhari will come and solve our problems. We believe Bola Tinubu will come and solve our problems. They've both been a mess. That is the truth of the matter. We need collective leadership. An elite that understands that together we can hold each other accountable and deliver for the Nigerian people, not make a few people rich. Because Nigeria is a country of infinite possibilities for everybody. But because people are limited in their understanding of governance, they're making everybody poor, except for a few people who didn't have the capacity. Found that oil prices went up, and they negotiated the state and put the money in their pocket and used it to raise barriers to entry. So money became a barrier. Look, normally, those who serve in politics are not rich people. If you want to make money, go into business. If you want to serve, be ready to sacrifice. But these characters who took over in 1999 saw the state as a path for primitive accumulation. That's where Nigeria's ruin started.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time this video gets to you. First of all, before I start, I pray this video gets to the right audience. That's the main purpose of me making this video. I'm calling out our president. I'm calling out our governor, Monday Obevolo of Edo State. I'm a student of Ambosali University, AAUE, Eboma, Edo State. Please, our governor, our president, in case you've not heard, because I know you guys must have heard what is happening in Eboma. Please, Eboma is in trouble. We need help more than any other thing in this life. We need help. Our people are dying. Kidnappers, they are killing our people. They are not just kidnapping. We've heard the story where they kidnap people. Kidnappers negotiate prices. They pay 2 million, 1 million, 500,000, but this one non-negotiable. 100 million, 200 million. If you don't pay within 24 hours, within 48 hours, they kill. I don't know if I'm next. I don't know if you are next. You are being mute. You guys are being mute. Our leaders, our king in Eboma. That's the most annoying part of this whole thing. We have a king in Eboma, and he's being mute. Our people are dying. Lives are being lost. Kidnappers are putting prices on our lives. There is no company in Eboma. Our parents are farming. No source of income. You go to work. You come back with 5,000 naira. What does 5,000 naira has to do? What can 5,000 naira do for you in this hard economy? We're even talking about the hardship. The hardship of things now. And here, kidnappers are kidnapping our people. How do you guys expect us? How do you guys want us to feel? I'm a student of Ambosali University. I can't just stay mute because I don't know who is next. Schools they have resumed. We can't go to school. As I'm talking to you, as I'm making this video right now, exams, they are ongoing right now. People are scared to go to school. Other states, other schools, they are going for next class. There is nobody, no student in Eboma that will come to my front now and tell me they have the mind, they have the guts, they have the nerves to go to next class. Do you want to die? Do you have 100 million to pay? The most fucking annoying part now is that our governor, it's not as if he has not heard this whole thing. No. I know me myself, I know say you don't hear him. He's being mute. Our king, the most annoying part of it, he's not saying anything. They did first protest. Nothing came out. Planning another protest again. Nothing is still coming out. Keeping our family hostage. Kidnappers shooting gun. Where do they get the gun from? Is it Fulani? Is it our Indigi? We don't know. They are just kidnapping here and there. Eboma is building. I'm just putting this camera here. I'm just talking. Not like I'm playing. I'm playing Ludo. Things they happen. Make I speak pidgin in case no one hear me. Things they happen when people they die. Students they die. No company for Eboma. There's nothing in Eboma. On market they normally if Eboma they are doing market. The way market is always busy. Eboma is always full. Go to Eboma market now. Before 4 o'clock, market don't close. People they fear. It's not as if they're not just kidnapping students, parents, children. Go let someone is missing. Go write someone is missing. This one don't die. This one don't die. They are killing everybody as if they are killing flies. If it's not one, just yesterday somebody died in Ojo Street. Killing people because you see students driving cars. Please. If you give us anything we can work on, we're supposed to raise that money. What am I even saying? I've lost my mind. We don't have money. We don't have any place where we work. Una not put us for work. Una not give us work hold. I don't know who gave you that information that Eboma is rich. Eboma is not rich. Eboma is broke. There's no company, no places to work. Wherever you go, now so farm left for Eboma. Please, and please come to our. See, we are tired. School don't resume. Students they fear to come house. If I was a mother, I would never allow my child come to this school. Let's be honest, let's be realistic. If I was a mother, I will never allow my children to come to this school. Not now, not forever. Hearing this kind of rumor that, oh, kidnappers, they started killing people in Eboma, do you think any parent will allow their children come to school? New students are supposed to come in January. New students, they're supposed to come into school January, but now they can't come. They can't come. We are complaining of the hardship in Eboma. What AAU is doing to us now, killing. Please, oh, please, we are tired. If we are never tired, me don't tire. If we are never tired, if we know they fear me, they fear for my life. They fear. I have an ambition. I have a future ahead of me, a bright future ahead of me. My life cannot be cut short because of lack of insecurity that we have in Eboma. Eboma is bleeding. Please, we need help. Serious help. I am begging. Please, oh, I don't know how this video is going to get to the rescue. Please, we are tired. We are tired. I cannot just carry camera here in my front and be saying rubbish if it's not important, if it's not serious. Biko, please, I am tired. Please come to our rescue, please. There is no security. Wherever you go, see anywhere when you enter, any street where you enter for Eboma, na so vigilante. What can vigilante do? What can they do? Omoye, please, I am begging you guys, oh. I am begging you guys. Person no fit sleep open window now. You cannot sleep with two eyes. You have to sleep with one eyes. I think go Eboma, go count students where they, people where they don't reach 100 again.
Look at the innocent students! Serious students! Go back to airport! Go back to airport! Oh, Jesus!
Phoenix, why don't you go to Nigeria and do away with them now? You can also do something. Go to Nigeria and do away with them, and then let us know how far.
Nigerian crooked politician, see this useless man here, the governor of Edo State. This man allows thugs, kidnappers, and Boko Haram to take over Edo State. This man now worst governor for Edo State so far. Edo State is not shining. Edo State is bleeding now. Insecurity. This governor doesn't protect his own citizens. And I tell you, Mumu, if my popsi or any of my family members will get kidnapped in Edo State, hey, remember, Mumu, I will personally come and collect the money straight from you. Foolish man, you are Mumu to Nubus, BK, and Oshomo Lepa. Nobody should vote for him, or you are a disgrace to Esan people. The king of Ekpoma called you, and still you are not doing nothing. Imagine, he will allow people to die, his own people. While living in Ekpoma, they were protesting. Kidnappers came there. They even kidnapped one yesterday, and within hours they killed him. So the only places now in Nigeria that are safe are Abuja and Lagos. Posing Nigerian crooked politicians.
This message is for Abia State. So the association of failed former governors of Abia State, not just failed though, failed and fantastically corrupt former governors of Abia State, una don dey shamelessly come together trying to gang up to put pressure a bit threaten Governor Alex Oti. Shame on you. You should be thoroughly ashamed of yourselves. The gods reject you, the people reject you. Former failed governors of Abia State since 1999, Oji Uzokalu, Chief Theodore Ahamefule Oji Ochendo, Oga Victor Okeze Ikpazu, you should be thoroughly and severely ashamed of yourselves. For una to even they come out to publicly talk and still mention the name of Alex Oti for una mouth, shame not they catch una. The thing where they talk say 2 heads are better than one. Your 3 heads put together for 24 years. What you people could not give to your people, one man don't come they do them in a space of less than 4 years. Instead of you to hide yourself, bury your head in shame and go into political extinction, when I still get mine, they come out, they talk about politics for Abia and mentioning the name of Alex Oti. This is not just a shame to Abia, it is a shame to Nigerians. If Nigeria is not a country that rewards criminality, that rewards corruption and criminality, una self go come out still they talk. Unfortunately, that is the reality. A country where the association of past criminals no go want make any good thing come to the people. But on this case of Alex Oti, you will be ashamed because shame go catch una. Alex Oti is on a divine assignment. Even the deputy speaker of the failed 10th National Assembly House of Reps, that one self they run him out like fairly used grinding engine, this and that. When still they talk about governance and leadership in Abia State. On a normal day in Nigeria, they're supposed to build a museum for failed and corrupt politicians where citizens go the view for free to look at what the SI unit of monumental failure can look like. Abia State, all of us, they go there now. We they see and we know the before and the after. Now, which one we go talk? Now, which one we no go talk? Share na the Okeze Bazu own. Where for Channels TV, they talk, say, to give pregnant women about 500 naira when they born. Where be even the Channels TV interviewer, Madam Mokbego, she said she shocked for waiting she hear. I be the one where governor go the boss say part of the investment where don't bring. Now say Chicken Republic, I be fast food self don't come the state. Ori Buruku Lenshio. Hey! Ori Buruku PLC. Abina the one has Senator Uzokalu. He don't tell Nigerians what exactly was the ruling of the case of corruption where carry and go prison before he went to Supreme Court. What was the verdict of the Supreme Court, the judgment? The judgment said this person did not commit this allegation. Abi the judgment was that the judge who gave the verdict at the lower court did not have jurisdiction at the time. What exactly was the ruling in that judgment? Unfortunately, Nigerians do not read. Nigerians do not pay attention. So anybody feel come out publicly try to bamboozle people. This is a shame and a tragedy. Abia State where be saying that God do deliverance for him people because the thing where Abia experienced under una hand, and we not sure even the children of Israel been seeing for Pharaoh hand when they been there Egypt. Yet when still they come back, the person who is trying to give some semblance of leadership to his people, when they threaten them, you they do this, you they do that. Pharaohs of Abia, let Abia people go. You see this Governor Alex Oti, so he's on a divine assignment. And by the grace of God, he go complete them to the glory of God and to the good of Abia people. And shame go catch everybody where they try to put pressure there. So association of past criminals with present criminals, we won't work with the past ones to truncate good for Abia State. Allow Governor Alex Oti to continue his divine mandate for his people in Abia. Now this re-election of Alex Oti, night Abia people go know say all of us we are in the Abia. Yes, and nothing will happen. Now we go know say Governor Alex Oti self no say no be him gets himself. He cannot even say he does not want to run because not be him they run. Now we Abia people and we Abia in diaspora, all of us are not the Abia by association. We are the ones running through Alex Oti. And as far as you continue to stay on the side of God and your people, you go succeed. Anybody trying to come in front of Alex Oti to stop him, it be like you they try to stop a moving train. The gods reject you, the people reject you. Association of failed leaders, corrupt and criminal politicians and leaders, wherever when are they, go and continue to enjoy the loot where when I don't thief. The one where when I don't thief, she never reach. This level of brazen criminality, is it not enough? Allow the people to experience a little of governance. If you go Kogi, if you go, that is the story around Nigeria, where corrupt politicians will come out and rub it on your faces. Like say we no get brain, abi we know they see. Ndi Abia, By the time election reach, I be re-election, Alex Oti with what he has done, not even need to campaign. What we go do is voter mobilization. And at that time, now they go no say, Abia State and Alex Oti is a national project. Any governor we good now, our governor. We are Nigerians and nothing will happen. This country, we not die here, we live here. What is good, they go talk say good. What is bad is bad. Failed former governors, focus on your all progressives affliction. Focus on the cause and plague where we na hold for hand, where we na dey manage. Allow Abia State to have peace, to have prosperity, and to make progress. Let Governor Alex Oti complete his God-given mandate to the glory of God and to the benefit of Ndi Abia. Former failed governors and leaders, pharaohs of Abia, let Ndi Abia go. My name is Peter for Abia.
Condemn what is happening currently in Edo State. In Ekpoma, to be precise, young people came out to protest about the state of the insecurity in the region, and you could see them destroying billboards, rightfully so, it's within their rights. And the next thing we heard was that the police came to curb it, and the army came, and we saw a video actually of somebody being shot live on video. And that is the Nigeria of today. That is the Nigeria whereby high-handedness is order of the day. The right to protest is limited, and you cannot speak up, you cannot agitate rightfully for what is wrong to be fixed, and the government will do what they have to do. Instead, they will come for you. Look at the amount of force that have been used to quell peaceful protesters. That same amount of force cannot be used to go against these kidnappers. Every single day on social media and internet, you see videos of kidnappers through people's CCTV cameras, going into people's homes, picking them up. It is insane what's happening in Edo State. But let's not forget, the governor came out during the campaign and he said, I am promising people insecurity. It's on video, he said it.
We are going to provide you with insecurity.
And we as Nigerians, we should start learning to take these people serious by their words. It was not a slip. It was not a slip of tongue, especially this party called APC. I say it all the time, APC is a satanic party. People think I'm playing. I think these guys actually say what they're going to do. It's like a spell. They cast it, so when they say it, and when they come and do it, we do not even say anything or do anything. He came out and said all these things. And we are seeing it at play right now. They tell you what they want to do, so believe them when they tell you what they want to do. So my heart goes out to everyone in Edo State. I just hope there comes a time whereby this insecurity can come to an end across the country. But one thing is certain with this particular ABC government is that wherever they go, insecurity follows them. That party is a cost to our country. There's nothing like, for any Nigerian, I say there's nothing more that you can do for yourself than to dislike and hate APC with all your life. Because that party is actively after your life. They're just here to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Nothing more, nothing less. And please, this is exactly why many of us are clamoring and saying the Americans should please look into Nigeria. Because the truth of the matter is that the kind of government we have in Nigeria, they need serious pressure from the international body, because for us, if you leave these people there, they are ready to unalive every Nigerian just to have their way in power. And enough has to be enough at a point in time.
So, yesterday, around 4:05 in the evening or afternoon, anyone you call it, 4:05, I mean PM. Yesterday's date, the 10th of January 2026, the Nigerian army were ambushed in Kwande local government area of Benue State. You know the story. They will not tell you. They will not tell you. The media will not tell you. But Alhaji, I did here. I got your back. Even they hide them, Alhaji, they bring them out. No wonder. Some of them were excited when they heard the rumor that I was arrested. The fake news that circulated that I was arrested. But I was not arrested. I took a break and now I'm back. I'm back. I am back. The Nigerian army were ambushed in Kwande local government area of Benue State yesterday, the 10th of January 2026, 4:05 PM. The soldiers were on a bike from Abande. They were going to Chatuaka to fill their gas cylinder. One soldier carrying 2 other soldiers on uniform. On their way, the Fulani jihadist terrorists ambushed them and
unalive 2 soldiers. 2 of them died there flat. The one escaped. That one managed to escape. Now that one go has both up with the IC. So I'm talking to you right now. The 2 soldiers' bodies have been moved from that place to Makodi. They go. They ask how this guy did get the information. They will be wondering. They will be wondering now who they feed me. Update. They're not going to tell you now, but they tell you now. This one happened yesterday. They want to hide it. Go do verification. I put date, I put time, I put village, I put states, I put everywhere. Every corner I put that. How did you take work? Go do your findings. Before I leave, you know I can't leave here without telling the federal government of bandit. For sec, full time. Let's play the video briefly.
I've just been very busy, so I've not really paid attention to Abia State politics. I saw a video my boss made, Oga Senator Odris Okalo, stating that the Governor Alex Oti has not done or constructed a new road project in Abia, which is true. He said that Alex Oti has only been fixing and repeating his project as...
Alright, let me not even bore you guys, but I'm sure you guys will have seen this video because I won't want to waste people's time. Well, this is actually a very big problem we're having in our country, right? This is exactly the same question Renan Mokri was saying about P2B not building new schools. Why should you build new schools? Or why should you build new roads when the current existing roads are unmotorable or the current existing schools are unteachable? This is the practice of waste that we have come to understand in our country. Flashy, what they call legacy projects. What is your legacy project? That's why I say Pocha will just come and next thing is building flyover. Not minding the state of the economy, the state of education, the state of healthcare. Just build something that when in the next 10 years we say, that is all this kind of flyover. So the state of Abia road has been non-existent. Abia had the worst set of roads in Nigeria until Alex Oti came in. Some roads that were abandoned that nobody believed anybody would have used these roads anymore. Oti came in. Were those roads existing? Probably they were built by this man, as they said. But he built substandard roads that were no longer motorable. And Oti have come in and have fixed these roads. It is insane that anybody will be expecting Oti to start building new roads when actually the old roads are in a very bad state. I don't understand the kind of politics we are playing in our country. And this goes to people like when Nigerian platform insensitive and stupid people like this. First of all, when I saw this woman's video trending with that pastor, I started laughing. I never even commented on it. I never made a video on it because I knew that for anybody to fall for a trap with that kind of a pastor, that person has no sense. First, so that for me alone is already a no-go area for such a person, such a character. But secondly, look at who she's eulogizing. Her Oga Senator Odris Okalo that destroyed Abia State. A man that did nothing for Abia State, that successive governments for the Abia State have been one of the worst governed states in Nigeria up until Oti came into power. The evidence are clear. This is the kind of people she's eulogizing. And right now they're on a mission to make sure that Alex Oti is a one-term governor. And this woman and her type will campaign for them. And this brings me back to why I am calling on Nigerian celebrities. Please, in 2027, in fact, this year is going to 2027, please have sense. Because many of people don't have sense, please borrow sense. Because if you fail to borrow sense, many of us will tell people things that you hate to hear. Gone are those days whereby you will come in and sell for Nigerians rotten products because they pay your bills or because you're friends to their children. Then you now come and campaign for criminals. You guys have been the backbone for corrupt governance in our country. Nigerian celebrities, you actors, you actresses, you footballers, you musicians, respect yourself this 2027 elections. This election is about do or buy for many Nigerians. It is a lie. It is our last shot for many of us. And we will not respect you, respect the art you're putting, we will not respect your work if you come in to sell for us a rotten product anymore. It's better nobody's saying you don't have a choice to speak, please. You have the choice to vote, but keep it to yourself. Don't bring it out. Do not bring it out because many of you, this nonsense you sold for us in 2023, see what we're passing through right now. People like Tony Abrahams, after selling for us Tinubu, she now want to come and act like, oh, no. Nigerians are calling her out and saying that people are bullying her. No, people are not saying bully you. Bimbo Akintola and the rest, Zach Oji and the rest. All you, let me be respectful with my choice of words now. All you celebrities, please respect yourself. Do not come and gas, because you know Nigerians have a very fickle mind. Do not come and sell your bad product and expect that there will be no repercussions. Because the current quagmire you guys have put us into, or you have enabled us to be into right now, we're yet to get our feet out of it. A word is enough for the wise.
Army checkpoint. See army checkpoint now. See army checkpoint. Boko Haram dey pass. See army checkpoint. Oh, our army, our army. Make una no compromise this country for us. See army.
Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters were reportedly seen moving in armored vehicles through military checkpoints while soldiers looked on without intervening. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji has started a raid to seize control of several villages in Sokoto State's Eastern District, beginning with a violent raid in Tidibale, a village in Issa local government area last night. During the attack, the residents were ordered to evacuate within 24 hours. Bagaja village, also in Issa local government area, was targeted days ago in line with Turji's stated intervention to dominate much of the district. What immediate steps are security forces and humanitarian agencies taking to protect displaced residents and prevent further escalation? This is the video of the civilians fleeing their homes.
Ina je can gaban gidan sare ba sai a yan gaba. Ba duk sai sun gama. Sannan ku Allah ya tsare. Kalle na na kare kanti ne. Na mashin din? Ah, na mashin. Na motar nan ne da rika sani. Na'am?
That's it too. They are fleeing their villages. Michael, I see your comments. Doris Ogala should focus on whatever she's dealing with and leave Abia people alone. Doris Ogala, person need to go advise her, because this one when she dey put hands so they go tear her clothes. Abia people go tear her clothes. Make she not put body. Somebody should go and advise her. Everybody eye dey shine now. They don't pay her money because some people they sorry for her. See wetin your car for do am. She want to put body. They don't pay her. They don't tell her say, oh, we've been observing, we've been watching the way you drag that pastor. May she not try. May they go tell am. Doris Ogala, may they tell her. In case you dey hear me by mistake, no go there. Just stay your corner.
Hey, did you know that?
Just stay one side, collect your money in peace. We no need to know. All you Nigerian celebrities, sit it out. You don't talk to your fans. If you want to vote for the people that are unaliving people in Nigeria, collect your money in peace. Do not come out. We don't want to see you. You are not coming out and telling your fans, I spoke to him. He said, oh, I'm blown away by his promises. Una go collect this 2027. If una no want disrespect and if una no want lose una fans and business, una YouTube upload, if una no want lose am, una stay away. If you cannot save the people, don't even talk about politics. Because you people are very good at leading your vulnerable fans into a ditch and then leave them there. I don't see any of you feeding your fans. I don't see any of you going out and ensuring that they are okay. I don't see any of you talking about the insecurity. Your fans are all over Nigeria. You don't say jack. You people are not doing anything. You're not saying anything. So please, we don't dey giving a warning ahead of time. Okay. Una not to say una not see who tell una. Because you no go funny.
Nigeria's democracy. As our guest today, Senator Aminu Tambuwal, a lawyer and politician whose journey spans the heart of the legislature and the seat of executive power. From presiding over the House of Representatives as Speaker to leading Sokoto State as governor and now serving in the Nigerian Senate. You could say that Senator Tambuwal has taken various seats at the top table where Nigeria's fate is decided. So, having been part of the system and having seen it all, how does he now assess this country as it grapples with crippling hardship,
anybody when they
insecurity, and what his
support this APC government, everything that APC government is dishing out to Nigerians will happen to each and every member of their family. Now here we do.
Coalition, or as he put it, a transitioning figure in the party that's aiming to challenge the APC in 2027. And this weekend, at a colloquium marking his 60th birthday in Abuja, he delivered an urgent message, warning that at a time of mounting economic pressure, divisive political realignments, and growing public demand for accountability, Nigeria is in peril and needs collective efforts to save it.
Today is unfortunate. This is not where we expected to be. Those who laid the foundation for this democracy, some alive, many of them are not living, even in their graves, are not happy with the current situation of Nigeria. Those living who believe in Nigeria, who are genuine about Nigeria, who are not selfish, cannot be happy with the current situation in Nigeria. The only way out of it is for all of us to agree that there is something fundamentally wrong.
Senator Tambuwal. So tonight, as he marks his 60th birthday this month, Senator Aminu Tambuwal joins me now in the studio. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Charles, for having me.
And congratulations on your 60th birthday. I mean, you've achieved so much in such a fairly short life. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Governor of Sokoto State, and now Senator. What has kept you grounded through the ups and downs of Nigerian politics?
Well, first and foremost, Charles, it is all the grace of God. But I also believe that growing up, I have this conviction in me that endeavors in politics and governance are about the people. It's all about service. It's not about self. And in that determination, I followed through. It has not been rosy. It has not been easy. Right from 2003, when I started seeking for tickets to run for the House of Representatives seat of Geopolitics Tambuwal Federal Constituency. I was in the PDP. I was the state legal advisor of the party. But through some machinations, I was reported to have failed the primaries. So my team and our team now negotiated and exited the PDP and joined the ANPP. And it was on the platform of ANPP that I came to the House of Representatives for the first time. So that was the foundation. And in the House of Representatives, Speaker Aminu Bello Masari from day one identified me and saddled me with the responsibility of being Deputy Chair, House Committee on Rules and Business. This is a committee that is at the heart of running the affairs of the Parliament. And of course, as is the tradition, it is only someone that is trusted by the leadership that is given either chairmanship of that committee or deputy chairman. And then we started on that note. Of course, in the course of events, there was some discomfort in the ANPP caucus and minority caucus. Things happened, and my colleagues went against zoning and elected me as minority leader of the House of Representatives in 2005. So it's a continuous back and forth. And then, of course, 2007, we had our issues with the then governor of Sokoto State, Atahadu Bafrao.
Hey, it's Alicia, your AI coach and trainer. I have a question for you. Do you know how to dance? Or maybe you wish you did?
Again, he and his team denied me the ticket of their new political party, the DPP. We realigned with Wamoko, who was still in ANPP. And then the political situation in the state generated into something that President Obasanjo and his party looked at and took interest and invited Wamoko and our team to join the PDP. So in 2007, as a chair, I was on the platform of PDP, ran for a second term, and I won the elections. I came back to the House of Representatives, where my colleagues now tasked me with the responsibility of becoming the Deputy Chief Whip of the House. During the turbulence of whether it should go or remain, virtually all...
That's the woman who was the speaker of the House at the time.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
Virtually all the principal officers were asked to go. But I remained, and then we continued, and I served the full term as Deputy Chief Whip of the House of Representatives. In 2011, I again ran on the platform of PDP, came back to the House, and then my colleagues again went against zoning.
Yes, I was going to say your political life has been characterized by a kind of rebellion, hasn't it?
Well, maybe for want of a better word. Yeah. Not necessarily rebellion.
Yeah, but rebellion against a particular issue, which is the issue of
rebellion with a cause.
Rebel with a cause.
Yes,
right.
More of that.
And I mean, that's a fascinating synopsis. But just very briefly, so people get a better sense of who you are, where you've come from. Take us back to the beginning. Your political journey began in 2003, and that shaped the politician that you are today. Is that right?
No. I've been involved in politics right from 1996 transition, when political parties were being formed. We were under the leadership of Network Kafi in ANC, and the party was not registered, and then we had to go and join the DPP. If I may borrow the words of one of the five leprous fingers, if I may borrow the words of Bola Ige of blessed memory. The DPN, I joined the DPN. You know, we had DPN, UNCP, and the rest of them. So I joined DPN, and I was the technical advisor of the DPN. So it was in 2003.
Right.
But
2003 was when you started coming into prominence.
So I started running for office.
Right.
Yes, elective office.
So having had that fairly long, as I look at you, as I said, a lot of people would consider you to be still quite young. You just turned 60. But having been through all that, how do you feel about the Nigerian political terrain today? Because you've invested so much of your life and your energy into that political system.
Well, as I did say during the colloquium,
this is not where many of us expected Nigeria to be, especially many of us who are on the field of play in politics. And even the electorates and many of the leaders of this country do not expect Nigeria of today to be where it is.
Scribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch this. It'll change your life.
Right? And I can say this is largely due to the faulty processes that we have. And you know, in Nigeria, we always try to find a way to cut corners and change the system and then get ourselves where we want to be.
Well, let me pick you up on that.
Without pulling the due process.
Let me pick you up on that, because looking honestly at Nigeria today, I mean, you've been part of all arms of government, either directly or indirectly. Which level of leadership do you think has failed the people the most? Is it the executive arm of government? I mean, you were a governor, or is it the legislature? You were Speaker of the House and now Senator, or the judiciary? And I mentioned that because you are a lawyer. Which level of leadership do you think has failed the people the most, or is it all three?
Well, Charles, let me be very honest with you. I believe that as at today, it's all the three. As at today. At certain times in the past, you may find the executive arm wobbling and the legislature coming in through checks and balances, through the constitutional framework, and strengthen things and reposition the government. You find the judiciary also having some challenges, and then somehow interventions come in, but today, as at today, it's all the levels.
And looking back, what policy decisions during your time as a politician, I mean, you still are, but either previously or currently, what policy decisions do you now believe Nigerians paid the highest price for?
As of today?
Some would say allowing military rule, some would say, you know, the elections that go sort of haywire in this country.
Military rule was not allowed. They usually force themselves on the country. It wasn't as if there was any choice left for the people. Most of the times they come in and then it's not about them being allowed. But when you talk about democracy, part of the policy decisions that have negatively impacted, I believe, is the electoral process.
Right.
And closely related to the issues of governance and what we find today, in the way and manner the current administration whimsically removed fuel subsidy without any alternative, without any framework, without thinking it through, without consultation with other stakeholders and Nigerians on how best to go about it. Because as at the time it was done, it was clear Mr. President was only interested in removing it without having any plan on his sleeves.
Right.
So that's another policy decision.
Well, let me take the opportunity of you mentioning elections to look forward to 2027, which is the next general election. I'm sure you know that Nigerians are losing faith in elections. That's probably one of the reasons why you brought that up. From what you've seen inside the system, are elections still truly decided by voters in this country or by political power?
No. It's not completely decided by the electorates. I can say that, and without missing words. We know quite oftentimes that at coalition level, be it at the polling unit, at the ward level, at local government level, at the state level, or even at the national level, things happen that misrepresent what voters actually voted for.
But then you've benefited from elections, and also you've challenged outcomes of elections.
Yes.
Where exactly is the system breaking down? Is it INEC, is it the courts, or the politicians themselves?
Both. It's a combination of both.
Right.
Politicians, yes, as I said in my earlier remarks, they try to find corners to cut. So wherever there's a loophole, politicians take advantage of that loophole. And INEC, from day one, in terms of the day of the election, be it failure of either beavers or failure of whatever technology, and then inability to transmit, even to start the election on time, and then transmit the results, count the results, and transmit them. In between, you find INEC officials being compromised.
So would you support full electronic transmission of results nationwide, even if it costs you or your party victories?
I wholeheartedly support any reform that will improve the electoral process of Nigeria, including electronic transmission. Even if I, assuming I'm going to contest an election in 2027, will lose that process, right? I don't mind.
But you yourself have changed, I mean, you mentioned that at the outset, you've changed political platforms in the past. Many Nigerians see defections as political opportunism. What makes your own decisions different?
Basically, as I said, in 2003, I believe the process was not fair to me.
Were you recently injured?
I left and joined the ANPP
But when you say it wasn't fair to you, you mean you lost?
I lost. It was manipulated.
Right. But that's what all the other politicians who swing
I am
parties say.
speaking for myself. And
Right.
that's the truth.
Right.
I lost that unfair process. I tested my popularity, and I won in 2003. In 2007, our political leader, then Bafra said, the person with Bafra said, I was not popular enough to run. I said, okay. I ported with one more scam. We tested our popularity, and we won. And then in 2007, I had no issues with the ticket. I remained in PDP. In 2011, I had no issues with the ticket. I remained in PDP. In 2015, I was part of the process of the G5 governors who split it from PDP
to APC.
To form the APC. So it was about my conviction, particularly on issues around and about good governance.
Right. In that regard, is party ideology still relevant in Nigeria? Has it ever had any relevance, or are parties now just vehicles for winning power?
For me, I have my doubt on parties being ideologically driven. It's not. I don't believe so. Thus far, most of the parties have been used just as vehicles or conveyor belts.
So in that regard, you've used them as well as a vehicle.
I admit that that was the issue. It's not about ideology. Okay, if it's about ideology, what was President Muhammadu Buhari doing in the APC with some characters that we have in APC? If it was about ideology, what I don't want to mention names, but if you look at President Muhammadu Buhari then, the way he was being perceived, the way he was being viewed, what was he doing with some characters in politics? As of today, in APC and in PDP, in ADC, we still have, what I may describe as political courts of many colors. I mean, people who ordinarily about ideology should not be straight bedfellows.
Well, talking about characters, I mean, you once ran for president under the banner of the PDP.
Yes.
And it was reported that your main backer for the ticket was Nyesom Wike. Is that a fact?
Yeah, he was backing me very well.
So he's your chum. He's your political buddy.
Well, he was my partner
at the time.
At that time.
Right. So does that give you a sense of how allegedly meddlesome he can be, given what is going on in River State today, and how difficult things might be for Governor Fubara? Because if you had been successful in your attempt to win the presidential ticket, you actually did very well. You came second to Atiku Abubakar.
Yeah.
But if you had been successful, might he have made the same kind of overbearing demands he's reported to be making of Governor Fubara?
Well, let me say this.
In order to sustain his
Let me say this possibly for the first time to the public. When I ran the primaries of 2019, I and Governor Yesemuki had not had any pact of he being my running mate. Because it has been...
Yes, it's been said that he wanted to be your vice presidential
Not at all.
candidate.
He never requested that I must be fair to him. And he never gave me that condition. Or this is what he must take in government, or this is what he must have. So if maybe he's had that with Fubara.
So what was his condition for supporting? I mean, there must have been a reason.
No, the reason is that he identified me as someone young and then someone who can do the job. I believe it was about my capacity,
right?
Not about any opportunism of him coming to manipulate the government if and when we want.
So you're saying publicly and unequivocally that there were no demands from him?
No.
Right, okay. Well, let's leave it at that. Let's turn to the party that you are transitioning into. I like that term. You're the one who came up with it.
Yes.
Which is the ADC coalition.
Yes.
Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, has said emphatically that in his assessment, if the ADC does not field Peter Obi as its presidential candidate in 2027, then the party will be stuck with what he called spent forces and wouldn't stand a chance. What's your reaction to that? I mean, you've got a leg and a half in the ADC at the moment.
Well, Charles, you are right by saying that you have been part of the coalition, and there's a possibility of transitioning to ADC, consulting our stakeholders in Sokoto and other stakeholders across the country for us to conclude on that. However, I've said on a program aired by Arise that I don't join issues with Ayo. Before. I said so before. I still stand on what I've said.
Well, it's not about him. It's about the point he's making.
Then refresh your question and ask me.
Well, let me put it that way. This way, then. If the ADC does not field Peter Obi as its presidential candidate in 2027, do you agree with those who say the party will be stuck with spent forces and wouldn't stand a chance?
Well, I don't agree with that. I believe that the leadership of the ADC, from the very foundation, from what we've been discussing, one, we agree that we must have very clear, transparent primary election. And if we have it, whoever emerges, all of us in the coalition will support that candidate. Either Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi,
or even yourself.
Well, I'm talking about those who have clearly indicated interest in running.
And of those people, is there anyone that you particularly support?
Well, when we get to that bridge,
well, we are at that bridge.
We are not there yet.
The bridge is this interview.
No. It's not this interview.
Right. Okay.
I have been playing a major role in the coalition.
Right.
So it will be too insensitive for
me
to come out right now and say I'm supporting this or that or that.
I understand.
Yes.
But let me put it another way, because we talked about your political role as a rebel with a cause. And that's over the issue of zoning, which came up repeatedly during your time in the House of Representatives, and you consistently defeated that. How clear-eyed are you about the risks that the issue of zoning poses to the ADC, with the main contenders for the 2027 presidential ticket coming from the north and the south?
Charles, this issue of zoning.
Have you ever wondered how the world's currencies are traded? The foreign exchange market, also known as the Forex,
is something that is having a lot of faces. And it depends on where your standpoint, where you are looking at it. If you are looking at power shift from north to south, you calculate the years that the South has had presidency from 1999, when the zoning actually started, to where we are today. If you are one of those who are saying that the North should have it, your argument will be that the South has been more in power.
Yeah, which one is your argument?
Hold on. I want us to have the best. Me. Wherever it's going to come from.
Yeah, but you have to agree. And I don't, I mean, you've got...
From my trajectory, Charles, is clear.
Yeah, but
that I have never been a product of zoning.
I know, but what I'm saying is
that... From being minority leader to being the Speaker of the House. So I believe that Nigeria should have the best.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
if someone's mother is gasping and in a critical condition, and you are rushing her to the store, are you going to ask for a physician from your local tribe? Or you are going to ask for the best hand that can save your mother?
I understand that point, but I mean...
So that's the situation of Nigeria today.
Yeah, but you have very sharp instincts as a politician, and I wonder if you are at least a little bit afraid about that and what it could mean for the ADC and the direction it might be forced to head in.
By the grace of God, I believe that any candidate that the ADC comes up with in 2027 will defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But it could cause divisions within the ADC.
We are managing our differences, chaps, and we are having Nigeria and Nigeria's interest at heart. Rest assured that the leadership of ADC, under David Mark, is having this country and its interest at heart.
Well, let me look at it from another angle. Many Nigerians believe that the same political class keeps recycling itself. What do you say to them?
Yes, that is a factor you cannot remove. I have always been urging people of good character, with capacity and content to join politics. We must not leave it to those that are otherwise.
That's true.
Anybody that wants to come into the is invited. I believe in quality, I believe in content, I believe in character and capacity.
And are you yourself still seeking higher office, or is your focus now on shaping power behind the scenes, a kind of kingmaker of sorts?
Not kingmaker. I'm playing that role of ensuring that we galvanize and bring out the best for Nigeria.
Right.
My focus is on that.
Not on yourself?
Not anything personal.
Right.
Not anything personal.
Because I mean, you've tried to run for president.
Yes, I did.
Do you still have that ambition?
Ambition is ambition. but what I am doing now is bringing people together, to work together.
But you don't have any desire to compete for the presidency in 2027?
I don't have that desire.
Okay. Well, let's switch gears slightly. You are the former governor of Sokoto State.
What
do you make of Donald Trump's muscle flexing in Nigeria in general, and specifically his attack on your state, Sokoto?
Well, it was very concerning and very worrisome when we woke up to hear that missiles were dropped in part of my constituency, and of course Tangaza in the other constituency and part of Sokoto State. Of course, we are aware that Donald Trump is taking too much interest in Nigeria, but we were not expecting that the first part of the country and state he was going to hit was Sokoto. Because, frankly speaking, and any leader who is aware of what's happening in Nigeria knows that you don't have that main security challenge as you have in some parts of the country, in Sokoto. Yes, as governor, I knew that the Labrawas were there, even during my own term, and we pursued them and chased them back and pushed them back. But the security situation in Sokoto...
You didn't think there was justification?
Yes, I don't see that justification.
But then, according to the Washington Post, a thorough sort of investigation into what happened, both from the American side and from the Nigerian side, they said that it was a decision. The Nigerian government supplied the intelligence to the Americans and told them where to go and attack.
And incidentally, I'm not even a member of any security committee in the National Assembly in the Senate, so I don't have that information.
But you disagree with that decision?
Even if that is the information given by the Nigerian government, it must have been a very, very incorrect security information. Because, okay, what's happening in Borno? What's happening in Zamfara, Katsina, even Niger of recent, Benue, Plateau?
Well, it's all about intelligence.
It's about
and where your attack would have the greatest chance of being successful.
They should come the National Security Advisor or anybody in government should come and tell us and give us the impact of that attack. What was the impact?
True. That's an important thing that many Nigerians are waiting for.
You people, the media, should take up our government on that, because the government has been very, very, how do I describe it?
Cagey.
Not cagey, but they have not been able to come out, even with a clear statement.
Yeah.
As to their position.
Well, we can't put a gun to their heads.
I'm not talking about gun. I'm talking about engaging them and taking them.
Yeah, we've been doing that. But let me move on from that, because there's been talk, and you are a member of the opposition, which is why I'm asking asking you this question. There's been talk that a hawkish American political and diplomatic intervention in the 2027 election by way of pressure on this government to hold a free and fair ballot, and some people in the opposition have said that, is the only way that such a clean election can be guaranteed, and that without it, the 2027 ballot will potentially be rigged. That's coming from a lot of your colleagues.
It's not the only way. It's not the only way. It's one of those ways. Because from even our recent history, the intervention of the international community shaped the election of 2015, which the APC benefited from. So I expect similar intervention from international community. I'm not particular about the United States. I'm talking about democratic countries and international community now making sure, because they do it without direct interference, that the elections are free, credible, and fair.
And what is happening in that local government area, I think it's called Isa or something, in Sokoto State, where villagers are said to be moving to the local government headquarters for fear of bandits attacking them in Sokoto State?
Yeah, it's been happening randomly, not only in Isa, in Sabon Birni, in Moronyo. Even in my senatorial district in Shagari, we've had similar situation where most villages in Shagari local government left their villages and settled in Shagari township itself.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining.
And of course, it's been happening in Kebbi, in Dangishuni, in Torija, in my own senatorial district. So it's correct that that we have that situation in Isa and a number of local governments, including Rabah in Wulu, in the eastern flank of the state. That information is correct.
So does that justify the attack there?
The attack was not on Isa.
Right.
The attack was on Tangaza and Tambuwal. The most troubled part of Sokoto is Eastern Sokoto, Eastern Central District, which comprising Isa, Sabon Birni, Gada, Gorenyo, Elela, Godaba, Wulu, and Rabah. Up to today, these areas are the most troubled areas in the state. But the attack was not there. The attack was in Tangaza. Even though Tangaza is having some security challenges, as I said, the history of this Lakrawas is that they come through Niger Republic, through that area, through Gada, Gudu, Tangaza. But in terms of real security threat and challenges, you have more in Isa.
Right. And just briefly, because we're coming towards the end of the interview, and I thank you very much indeed for your patience and the clarity of your thoughts. Do you welcome that American big stick in Nigeria as a way of bringing the ruling party to heel? Because so many Nigerians said after that attack, the government started sort of, apparently doing things the way they felt that they ought to do things. Do you think that coming from a party that has been critical of the governance style in this country, that big stick from the Americans helped to shape things in a better direction?
Well, I think that intervention, first the statements from President Trump and the subsequent missile attack had some effect on the government of the day. They now had to maybe sit down and say, look, what's happening? And then you could see that, yes, there is some positive impact of all of that on the way the administration is now thinking.
So in that regard, would you like to see more of that?
I would not want to see more of attacks.
Right. But you'd like to see diplomatic,
and then let us have a clearer and well-defined framework between the Nigerian government and the US government for these engagements. And I am in the National Assembly. I'm a senator of the Republic of Nigeria. These issues were not tabled before us. If you ask us today, we don't know how it came about. And I believe that at this level, we should know certain things. So the framework should be clearer. If there's any agreement between the Nigerian military and the US military, or the Nigerian government and the US government, it should be clear, well defined. And then, as I said before, it shouldn't just be the United States of America. Every other country that is willing to help Nigeria resolve what we are facing now as security challenge, I welcome that idea.
Right. And just very briefly, because you were telling us quite comprehensively about what is happening in local governments in Sokoto State, where villagers were moving away from and so on. We've heard of this bandit kingpin called Turji.
Turji.
Yeah, Turji. I mean, why can't he be captured?
Charles, I am not the commander-in-chief.
I didn't think you were.
I am not.
You're a man with an ear to the ground.
I am not the national security advisor. But I believe that Bello Turji can be captured. I believe so.
If you were governor now, as you were then,
governor cannot capture Bello Turji because you can't even commandeer the CP.
Indeed, but you can certainly have discussions with the government.
No, while there, we've had discussions with the government, even under President Muhammadu Buhari, and we advise the president, as governors of the Northwest, including Niger and Plateau, on the way to go about simultaneous military operation in those areas affected. It was never done. So it's not as if, as a governor, there's much that you can do. You can only advise the president, give them information.
And what would you advise them about that today, about this Turji?
My advice is that we should not negotiate with the bandits from a weak position.
Right. We
should go after them, subdue them, and then come to the table.
Right.
But as where we are today, I don't support any such negotiations.
Right. Okay. We're almost out of time, and I appreciate the time you've taken to talk to us. If history judges your political career, what would you like it to say, and what are you afraid it might say?
What I would like history to say is that in my political sojourn, I've been selfless. I have impacted on human capital development of my people, the people I have been representing, and shaping the youth and people of my constituency towards a better future and better direction. My fear is for me to be judged otherwise.
Well, I hope that history will judge you honestly and kindly.
Okay, I have one more video, and I will call it a night. I'm gonna just talk, and then we'll call it a night. Let's see. I want us to listen to
This is a
this.
lesson we can all learn from Nigeria. And this is not a critique about the Nigerian system. This is not a gloat. This is something that if we are not careful will happen to the rest of us. You see, we as humans have this deep-seated belief of we just want to save ourselves. It's our last-ditch effort to say, you know what, I can't control what other people can do. I can control what I can do. So as for me and my family, we just want to save ourselves and run. But the issue with that then becomes, you do not exist in a vacuum. If today I say, I'm going to be an intellectual, marry another intellectual, have a kid that's an intellectual, we're not going to live in space. We're going to live amongst other people, the same people who I have withdrawn my empathy for, I have withdrawn my support for. They're going to be the ones who have to interact with my child, interact with me. I am going to inevitably fall into the systems of this country, which I have withdrawn myself from. This is something similar that happened to Nigeria. People, when they saw that they didn't like to be in Nigeria anymore, they started leaving. They just started leaving, and they left, and they left, and they left. And what ended up happening? Science tells us this beautifully when we study osmosis. When they left a higher concentration of the people that couldn't leave, either because they were benefiting from corruption, or they couldn't leave. Now, when they come back for a visit or anything, the country is dysfunctional. The country is quite dysfunctional to a point where, however rich you are, however much money you have, however powerful you are, you cannot save yourself from the country. Remember, initially you said, I'm going to save myself. Now you cannot save yourself because you are falling to the systems of your country. Now, by this, I am not saying that all is lost. I'm saying nature teaches this beautifully. The minority must always be the social outliers. You know, in nature, when we look at it, only 2% of the human populations are narcissists. I don't know if that was grammatically correct. That's not the point. Only 2% of people are narcissists. The same could be said for sociopaths and psychopaths. So nature made sure that I'm going to give you social deviance, but the majority will not be social deviants. But if we continue to leave spaces where there's dysfunction and not address it, what we are doing is creating a higher concentration of social deviancy that one day we'll become victims of. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. If we keep leaving dysfunctional situations at a rapid rate, the system will become dysfunctional and one day we'll be victims of that same system. What am I saying? I'm saying that in our quest, in our everyday lives, I know it's taxing, it's tiring. We cannot always keep up with everything that's going on. I mean, we have kids, we have dogs, we have homes, we have tax, we have electricity, we have water. There's always all of those things. But we have to, as a society, make sure that those podcast guys and those social deviants are in the minority. That, dare I say, and I don't like this word, but for the sake of the effect, that stupidity is in the minority. Because the moment stupidity is in the majority, we will question everything. One day, people will ask, but how do we know that plants grow with water? And it will be a valid question. It is not normal to treat anecdotal evidence as empirical evidence. What do I mean by that? If I say, I'm just going to eat raw chicken because I ate raw chicken yesterday and I didn't die, it is not normal to reason like that in society. But when we keep making it we are academic peers because we are on TikTok kind of thing, that my ignorance is equal to your education just because we are both human beings, we are going to perpetuate a country where someone can say, no, there's no harm in eating raw chicken, and we have to make a valid standpoint that that's valid, that's valid. The same can be said for other social ills, which I'm not going to get into. My thing is a plea to society and to say, we cannot let deviancy We cannot let degenerate behavior become the norm. There will always be those people, but let them be a small group on their own, on an island somewhere, that they also know that shame, yes, we are not the norm. We're not the norm. Let those podcast bros be podcast bros, but let them know that in the real world it doesn't fly. But when we slowly say, I'm removing myself, again, what happens is the deviants become the majority. One day you will come, you will speak to people, and common sense will be the least common thing. And then you will have to fall for the systems that you perpetuated when you said, I'm gonna leave myself out of this.
Everything she said, 100% agree. Everything she said is true. So a lot of people have escaped Nigeria. Oh, me, myself, me and my family alone. Me and my family, you can't go back home now. If you go back home, you can't even go to your village. If you go back home, how many people can really live in Abuja and Lagos? Even those two cities are not even safe. Even within those cities, you have to stay in specific places. You cannot stay in the places that are remotely close to the outskirts. Because, why? You are afraid. Insecurity. Even in the most secure places too, anything can happen. So we keep running and running and running. Who's going to stay and fix it? This is the real question. This is why 2027, run up to the election, is very crucial. If you haven't told yourself that, better know now that you're going into war in 2027. Don't let anybody bamboozle you. APC has to die in 2027, and it will. Die, it will. But everybody, all hands need to be on deck to make that happen. You cannot be standing far away, aloof, and be saying, oh, those people over there. You should make yourself, find somewhere you fit in and be involved in some of the problems, solving some of the problems that we have, because it's a gargantuan problem. Insecurity has taken every part of Nigeria. Insecurity. The only functional state in the whole of Nigeria is Abia State. The only sane and functional state in Nigeria, I repeat, is Abia State. And we are even trying to cover it so that the evil intention people with evil intents within and outside don't even put their eyes so much there. Because as we speak, they are trying to even find ways to remove the man so that they can come in and do their evil. It's up to us. And again, and one more thing I will say, all this whole thing about, let's protest, cancel it. It's not going to work. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself is election. No, all that I talk of, revolution, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. With the momentum that was gathered, and I'm proud of the Epoma people for coming out en masse and protesting, okay? With the momentum that was gathered in that protest, if the whole of Nigeria picked up that momentum, now different story for the talk now. But did it happen? No. This is why the revolution cannot happen. The only way out of this mess is going to be voting, waiting your vote to be counted, going to the vote to your polling unit with necessary equipment. Okay? Nobody should leave there without getting the actual results of what you voted for. From your polling unit, you go to your collation center, you wait. Nobody goes out. If anybody do anyhow, everybody need to be ready in every polling unit. That's all I have to say for you guys, to you guys this evening. Mona, you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. I'll see you guys on my next one. Thank you very much for joining. Bye.